Mistral and I are back to talk about working smarter, not harder, by your period cycle. So, honoring the energy that we have each week through each stage of our period cycle really helps us hone in our business, live in alignment. There's so much magic that comes from being aware of this energy and bringing it into your business and your personal life too. So, hey, Mistral.
Yay, we're so glad to be here to help you understand all of this a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. So, do we want to dive into why it's so important to be aware of and implement this into the work that we do?
Totally. And I will tell you that, I didn't really honor any of my energetic cycles in the last few years. This is newer for me, and it's been really revolutionary for me as well because I think as women, especially as young women, we're not really told like what happens when we get our periods that come like every month pretty consistently throughout our life. And so for someone who was in their, late 30s, I was like, why am I only really figuring this out now? And how much more ease and flow is there in my life, in my business, as a wife, as a mother, as a business owner, when I actually follow my energetic cycles? And so Jen and I, we always talk about all kinds of different cycles. We talk about our human design cycle. We talk about our emotional cycle. We talk about the moon cycles, the human design transits. But today is really all about our feminine flow, right? Our monthly cycle that we receive. And something I think that's really important to understand is that we get this every month. We know that. We all have different reactions and how we react to it. But I think what's really important is knowing and understanding the actual what am I trying to say? The actual phases, right? There's kind of like 4 phases within our cycle. And so what's really cool is we have these beautiful little sheets here that come in our Planning by Design kit when you join our monthly membership to help you understand what to actually be doing in those phases. But there's essentially 4 phases. There's our menstrual phase when we're actually bleeding. There's our follicular phase, which I've literally just entered into after finishing my bleed. And then there's our ovulation phase and I can never say this one right, our luteal phase. And understanding how our energy is in each of these phases is really actually paramount to how we then show up in our business or in our job or just in life in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up, right? It was like, oh, you have your period? Well, then you need to manage that. You need to go do this. You need to go do that. Oh, you have really bad cramps? Oh, there's this chemical called Midol, and you should take it so that you can still hustle and do everything that you need to do. So now it's really interesting because I'm like, oh, I am getting my period. I have it. I'm going to clear my schedule because that day one, I need to lay in bed with my heating pad. I'm going to clear everything that I don't need to do. While I'm bleeding, I can show up with clients, but I'm not going to do any additional work. I need to focus on me. I need to make sure that I have food prep beforehand because I am not cooking during that week. So it's so important to allow yourself to listen to your body, to what your body needs. Yeah, these are really good points for us to know and to not give in to the conditioning, right? All the conditioning from society, from that just patriarchal construct that was created that doesn't fit our feminine flow, especially when we're in these different energies, right? I see all these TikToks about like, what's this about my girlfriend in her luteal phase and that's her crazy time? And it's like, yes, men are learning these phases so they can be aware of our energies too. And that can benefit relationships. But with what Mistral and I really talk about is how to be aware of these energies, utilize them for yourself, and implement them into your business so that you can have an aligned, successful, abundant business with ease by working smarter, not harder.
Which is exactly why we come on every Monday to share this information with you because it has changed how we actually show up in our businesses, how we manage our own energetic cycles. And what we found in the last sort of 3 months of running this membership is that we actually have different tiers and layers within our energy cycles, which has been really cool. And so for both of us, actually, our period isn't the top energy cycle that we follow, but it is something that we do realize that during certain phases of our period, we find that we can harness our creativity more. We find that we might batch, content or reels, or find more inspiration for collaborating with other people during certain times versus times like Jen said, when it's just time to rest. And what I've noticed is that when I actually rest, which is hard as a manifesting generator and someone who's been conditioned to just go, go, go all the time, it is really hard for me to rest. But when I do actually honor that rest and try not to just force something like, oh, I have to post, or oh, I have to do this, or oh, I have to do that, whatever it is around my business or whatever pressure I'm feeling, I find that then when I come out of my menstrual phase and into my follicular phase, I really have a lot more creative energy, right? So we're not only are we like honoring our cycles, but we're now also avoiding burnout, which I'm sure there's everyone on here has experienced burnout before of some stage. I mean, this isn't just prevalent to women, it's also prevalent to men, but it's so prevalent in women because we're multitasking all the time in our lives and we're ignoring our energetic cycles, which is why we end up in burnout.
Yeah, and I think there's a huge aspect of deconditioning here, right? As a projector, I'm kind of the opposite of Mistral. So like I do need to rest, but I can fall into some projector conditioning, if you will, of like, oh, I need to rest. Like I can't do anything. I need to rest because I'm actually an energy projector. I have a lot of energy that I do need to get out in certain ways. Otherwise, I kind of sit in my bitterness. So when we were talking before here, before we got on live, I was like, oh, I might go to the beach this afternoon. And yeah, maybe I'll try to do nothing. And it's like, wait, I'm in my follicular phase, right? I'm not in my menstrual phase. So my creativity is coming and I'm starting to get these great downloads, right? All this energy that's going on. So I would be doing myself a disservice actually if I went to the beach and was like, I need to lay down. I need to not do anything. So instead, I'm going to cultivate my creativity. I am going to go to the beach because that is my environment, my shores environment, where I can very easily be in my signature theme of success. So, how can I work smarter, not harder, to let my creativity flow, maybe get some work done if I feel called to. Maybe it's being in this dream state that lets us create, especially my unique way that my creativity works. And then we also have these other energy cycles, right, that Mistral touched upon. So if you're into astrology, if you're kind of aware of the energies, we're in eclipse season, right? We have the full moon
Mm.
eclipse in Pisces starting tomorrow night. So that's an external energy. We talk about that in the transits within planning by design. So Mistral and I both were saying how we've been really emotional these past couple of days. And not only is it because eclipse season is here, but there's a lot going on in the solar system, right? There have been some really wild, crazy solar flares going on that affect us in so many ways. So, being aware of these external energy cycles to understand why we're experiencing what we are, to give ourselves grace and acceptance in riding those cycles and knowing where and how to access the energy that we do have, perhaps consistent energy that can help us get through or get done what we need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you touched on that because we have this internal energy, right? This is like our human design type. This is our emotional wave. If you're like Jen and I and have emotional wave with your defined solar plexus. And then there's also our period cycle. And then we have these external energy waves, which are like come and go, right? Depending on the moon phase and eclipse season and the human design transits. And understanding why you might be feeling a certain way is so helpful because not that you're just then brushing it under the carpet and forgetting about it, but it kind of gives you like, oh, now I understand why this might be coming up right now because it's probably something that potentially you've been like hiding under the carpet, trying not to address, and now it's coming up to sort of let you know, like, let's take care of this. Let's clean it out so that we can have more expansion and create more within our lives and our business, right? Because when we clear out the old, we make space for new expansion to arrive, which is the exciting part. Although it always seems hard during the clear out often.
Well, and I just love the beauty in that because it is a really good time to do shadow work with the full moon,
Yes.
with whatever is being triggered for you. I know I've had some deep stuff that I'm like, oh, okay, it's time to work through that. Or, whoa, okay, that came up, but I have worked through that and I'm able to see my successes and how honoring these energy cycles has allowed me to move through that, to progress, to align, and not be so easily triggered. Right, trying to push or force, just like what I said before about having my period. You know, I used to be like, well, I have to do this, and I have to do it. Whereas now I'm like, no, I don't have to, and I don't want to, and I'm not going to.
Mhm. And I think what comes along with that too is so many people are afraid, right? If I don't do this today, or if I don't do this now, or if I don't take action in this moment, I'm going to miss something. And I think that in some ways, especially as business owners, social media has kind of conditioned us to always be present online versus being present with ourselves and our energetic cycles. And so, what Jen and I are really trying to teach you, especially in our planning by design, is how do we completely honor who we are as a person, right? We're not teaching you how to honor yourself as one of us. We're really showing you how to honor yourself and your energetic cycles and the hierarchy that you have within your energy cycles so that you can be the most expansive all the time, right? Do Jen and I still have hard moments? Absolutely. That's human life, right? That's a part of the evolution of being a human and being here is that we're going to go through those. But now we understand how, when, why, and we're able to leverage the low times and we're able to leverage the high expansive creative times as well. And so just a reminder, these are our worksheets. They come with the Planning by Design membership, and they're huge because you can see all the information we have in here. Oops, got it wet. um, that tells you exactly what to do in each one around your business, around yourself, the self-care that comes with it. And we have a lot more information in those sheets than just this one. I'm only showing you the monthly cycle flow because that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah. So if you are a female business owner, if you own any type of business, we invite you to come into Planning by Design. There is, what am I trying to say here? Anytime is a good time to join. Like, you don't have to wait for the beginning of the month. Like, you can pop into this group anytime, get the worksheets, get the recording of the last call, and be ready to honor your energy, jump in with your questions, goal plan for the month, and be held accountable to your goals. We have our second call, our accountability call, coming up tomorrow. So feel free to join today, DM us or comment for the link. We'll be happy to provide that. And now is really the time to join because it is only $11 a month. Like, we still can't believe all the value that this membership has to offer for this low cost. But we will be increasing the price soon in the coming month or so. So when you join Planning by Design now at $11 a month, that is what you will pay. You will not
Locked in for
pay.
life.
Right, locked in for life. You will not pay that increased price. And we have some really exciting things coming for the future of Planning by Design. So we cannot stress enough. Like, if you are looking for help being aware of your energy cycles for goal planning your business, your life with your energy cycles to work smarter, not harder, and you want to be held accountable to that, you want a beautiful creative group space. The women in this space, like, we learn so much from them. We just love hearing everything. Like, that group container is so special. This is something you definitely want to get in on.
Yeah. And I think what's it's such a good platform too, Jen, for these women. They're all coming from, we have like astrologer, we have an expert like in cycle syncing with your period and your flow. We have other women in other areas, priestesses, and we have women who are doulas and all kinds of different women who
Breathwork
have businesses.
coach.
Breathwork coach, that's right. And so I think what's so neat is it gives them a platform also to share with other women and expand. And they've actually become clients of each other too, which is really exciting. I think that's such a beautiful synergy that we've created here because it's not just a coaching container, it's a container for women to rise together and literally become their best selves because they're shining their light in the way that they're meant to and not how they're being told to, which is the best thing ever.